Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the We Own Your Head podcast. Discussing topics that make you say, how and where can we improve as a society? From a Black American's perspective. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Catch us live, be ready to speak. This is a call-in show. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Let's go to work. All right. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show. I am the Only Male Cruise. Oh my God, it's been a minute. So on here if you can hear me in the chat, somebody put a 1 in there, because to be honest with you, I can't hear myself. So I'm hoping you're not having any problem hearing me. But either way, it's been a minute. So much going on, y'all. I can't believe this. In terms of America, what's tea? Like American politics. There's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys remember when, during Donald Trump's first administration, he had John Bolton working for him. And I couldn't stand John Bolton, because I was like, this man is totally against America and he's backing Donald Trump. And then close before Bolton got up out of the administration, he kind of went against Donald Trump. So, and I recall remarking to myself that, wow, he waits until it's time for him to get up out of here and all the damage has been done. And now you're leaving, and now you got something to say. Well, now today, John Bolton has been indicted. And, I got this little news clip. I'm going to go ahead and run it real quick, just so we can get all of the full details on this. But I'm also going to be talking about, I believe Donald Trump gave $2 billion to Argentina. And then there's an updated news report that he plans on giving another $2 million. So there's a $4 billion. And you're calling that America first. There's just so much going on. So listen, like, share, subscribe, and get in on this conversation with me, y'all, because this is what in God's name is going on. It's going to take Jesus to fix this thing. But let me go ahead and hit this with let me try to get over here and share this screen in order to play this update on John Bolton and the fact that his ass has been indicted. And man, this country is going to hell in a handbasket. Share the show, hit the like button, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. Let's bring this in here and let's go to work.
We have breaking news right here on CNN from our Caitlin Polans, who has been reporting on the possible indictment of John Bolton, the former national security advisor for President Trump in his first term. Caitlin, what do we know?
Casey, John Bolton, the former national security advisor to Donald Trump, a longtime federal government official, has been indicted by a grand jury. We are learning that through two different sources, from our producer, Hannah Rabinowitz at the Justice Department. And we have confirmed that the grand jury was in today with the lead prosecutor on that case, the same prosecutor who had been on some of the documents of the search of Bolton's house just 2 months ago, or not even 2 months ago, a prosecutor who also has some experience in investigating these sorts of things. He was a prosecutor that was also working on the Biden classified documents handling investigation that led to no charges. But in this situation, the bulk of this case, it's been going on for several years, and our understanding is that it's about John Bolton's use of an email account with AOL, an email account where he was writing diary-like notes and summaries of his time as national security advisor to himself, at times even sending them to his wife and daughter. And that is the sort of thing that the Justice Department does say frequently, not just in the climate of a Trump administration, that that's something that you should not do. We have seen many charges like this before of other high-ranking officials, and that also with John Bolton in those search warrants, and what we're very likely to see in court going forward is that the Justice Department saying he should have known better.
So that's hold on just a moment here. I'm just gonna shut it down. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're back. um, okay, so that's interesting. So he was let me hit the stop sharing tab here. Stop sharing. There we go. All right, good. So evidently he this is an email situation again. Same thing they were trying to get Hillary Clinton on, um, which that didn't pan out. But according to this report, it appears as though they've got proof that John Bolton was sent a couple emails to his wife and daughter about things going on, journal, and kind of like he was journaling or something of that nature. Um, let's see how that pans out. But how long? I mean, what is this? 6 years? 8 years? What is this? 5 years since Trump was out. Then we had Biden in, and Bolton was gone. I think the second, maybe the third year. I don't know how long Bolton served. Um, but either way, come on. But that's fine. Go on and go after him. Um, it's just interesting because Bolton was all the way on Trump's side. So the point that is Donald Trump is clearly using the Department of Justice, the DOJ, to go after his perceived enemies. And that's not how America has been working, but it's happening and nothing is being done about it aside from the individuals who are fighting back. So just from CNN, let me just go ahead and read this article just quickly, just to in case we missed anything on the um, on the video that I played. So the headline is former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton indicted. John Bolton, President Trump's former national security advisor turned adversary, has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Maryland. He now faces 18 charges, 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Now, I'll stop here and say, didn't they raid Mar-a-Lago and found classified information in there with Donald Trump? Is that possibly one of the things that, I mean, was Trump convicted of that? But you're on John Bolton's ass about doing this. Prosecutors wrote in the indictment that during the time he was national security advisor to Trump, Bolton shared more than 1,000 pages of information about his day-to-day activities with two unauthorized individuals. Let me stop right there. When Hegseth in a chat with a top journalist with what the New York Times, I believe, was giving classified information, and it would seem to me that you would have fired him and had that ass up hanging from a flagpole, ass out. But you act like that wasn't nothing to it. It was okay. Nothing about no harm, no foul. Come on, y'all. This is crazy as f. Um, Says now faces 18 charges, 8 counts of transmission of national defense information, and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Prosecutors wrote in the indictment that during the time he was national security advisor to Trump, Bolton shared more than 1,000 pages of information about his day-to-day activities with two unauthorized individuals. Both of those people were related to Bolton and didn't have the authority to access classified information, prosecutors said. Prints out of diary entries were also found in Bolton's home, according to the indictment. Bolton is expected to surrender himself as soon as Friday. Um, his case was assigned to Judge Theodore D. Chong, who was appointed to the bench by Barack Obama in 2014. The FBI's investigation revealed that John Bolton allegedly transmitted top secret information using personal online accounts and retained said documents in his house in direct violation of federal law. Hmm. FBI Director Kash Patel says that the case was based on meticulous work from dedicated career professionals at the FBI who followed the facts without fear or favor. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Weaponization of justice will not be tolerated, and this FBI will stop at nothing to bring to justice anyone who threatens our national security. Can y'all believe this? Who is buying this shit? Bolton, who has been under investigation for alleged unlawful handling of classified information, becomes the third high profile Trump political enemy to be indicted in less than a month. You guys, this is out of pocket. And you know what? Where's the uproar? Oh, it ain't Nan. The underlying facts in this case were investigated and resolved years ago. These charges stem from portions of Ambassador Bolton's personal diaries over his 45-year career, records that are classified, shared only with his immediate family, and known to the FBI as far back as 2021. Like many public officials throughout history, Ambassador Bolton kept diaries. This is according to Bolton's lawyer, Abby Lowell. That is not a crime. We look forward to proving once again that Ambassador Bolton did not unlawfully share or store any information. Bolton is accused of sharing highly classified information with his wife and daughter over email. Says FBI agents executed a search warrant on Bolton's Maryland home and Washington, D.C. This summer. The agency's multiple documents labeled secret, confidential, and classified, including some about weapons of mass destruction, according to court records. So, again, again, this is craziness. It's craziness, you guys. And right now, it's all good in the neighborhood because guess what? It's not really impacting too many people. So, who really cares? Give me just a minute here, y'all. 1 second. Give me just a moment here. Just doing something real quick. Okay, so moving right along, as they say. I also want to let me do this quick little voice check. I want to make sure I've been on here now a good 12 minutes. I'm about to check the trap. So if you hear some reverb, you know what it is. Let's see. If you hear any noise, it's just me and if you hear any noise, it's just me and oh shit, I think I might have to get in the studio. Okay. All right, so I had to. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, y'all. I want to talk about this Argentina. Shout out to whoever's in the chat. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Feel free to request to come up. I'd love to, have this discussion with you. Let's go. But let's talk about Argentina. And what I'm going to do here is, let me see. Let me run this video real quick about Argentina, what Trump's ass is doing again. And let's see what's tea with this. Because why would you do this? America cannot find jobs, people. America is not, the government is closed because you don't want to give citizens health care, and you rather cut the necks of everybody because listen, I'm being honest with you. If you're an illegal immigrant, you should get absolutely nothing that this country has to offer, because guess what? Taxpayers are the ones that are funding all of these subsidy programs. Section 8, food stamps, welfare, TANF, this, that, and 2/3. It's our taxpayer dollars that fund that. And then even though people who make over the threshold and their taxpayer dollars are going into it. They don't qualify for it. So some people are actually paying into this shit and aren't eligible to receive it. And so I get it that I don't, yeah, if you're over in this country illegally, you don't deserve it. You should not get it. Um, but here we are, even, I mean, jobs are nowhere to be found. Country is going to hell in a handbasket, and Donald Trump is making deals with all these other countries trying to hook them up. But you ain't thinking 5 minutes about America and its citizens. So let's see what he's talking about here with this money. Why you gave this money to Argentina? Let me hit the share screen real quick, y'all. It's been a minute since I've been up in here live. And why is Trump bailing out Argentina? Oh no. No. Let me see. There you go. Bring him on in here. And let's see what he's talking about.
Because his philosophy is correct.
U.S. President Donald Trump expressed his support for Argentina's President Javier Milei during their meeting at the White House Tuesday. The visit comes days after the U.S. agreed to provide a major financial lifeline to the South American nation. The meeting also occurred ahead of Argentina's midterm legislative elections.
We're going to work very much with the president. We think he's going to win. He should win. And if he does win, we're going to be very helpful. And if he doesn't win, we're not going to waste our time.
Trump's remarks rattled Argentine markets that had previously been buoyed by the support package recently announced by U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the centerpiece of which is a $20 billion currency swap with Argentina's central bank, exchanging stable U.S. dollars for volatile pesos. Bessent said in the meeting that the support package depended on the continuance of economic policies favored by the Trump administration.
We're confident that the president's party will and the coalition will do well in the election, and this aid is predicated on robust policies, and going back to the failed Peronist policies would cause a U.S. rethink.
The economic lifeline for Argentina marks an unusual move for the U.S., particularly under an administration that has largely stayed away from major foreign interventions. The White House has framed the deal as a strategic effort to stabilize a key regional ally, but it has drawn criticism at home, including from Democratic lawmakers who have accused Trump of prioritizing foreign bailouts and investor protections while the U.S. government remains shut down.
Meet Yoto Mini.
Okay. So that's crazy in terms of, and I hope y'all were able to hear that. Hope that caught. That was a poor production of a news report, but um, yeah. So why are you giving this money to Argentina? And what? And you're where is the plan for America? Where is the plan for the people who can't find jobs? Where is any of this at? Let's see. Senator Mitch McConnell trips, falls while being confronted by protesters. I think that's some old ass news. But let me read this article from USA Today. It is dated October 15th, came out about 3:04 Eastern time. But the news of Trump giving Argentina this money has been in effect. It's crazy. So let's see if we can get more out of the article in terms of why Donald Trump is breaking them off, something proper, and treating us improperly. Okay. President Donald Trump hosted Argentine President Javier Milei at the White House on October 14th after the administration announced a $20 billion bailout for his country. You guys, why Americans cannot get you know how much money has gone over to Ukraine and all these other countries that we don't even know anything about, and now you just gave this man $20 billion for his country, and nobody in America. Food prices are higher than a son of a gun. And people are already saying ain't no jobs. People can't find jobs. Are you serious right now? And what do you do? You're cutting medical benefits from people, from citizens, and you've given these people $20 billion to bail this country out. Trump has described Malay as his favorite president, and the eclectic leader has drawn comparisons to Trump. Malay, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Malay has repeatedly wielded a chainsaw on stage to promote slashing spending, but his agenda, which also includes deregulation and free market reform, has led to a volatile peso currency and seen investors aggressively dump Argentine stocks and bonds. So this man gets to just act financially, fiscally irresponsibly, and our money, and it's American money because it's coming up out of our country. And if you can break it off to Argentina, you can break it off to the citizens herein. Anyway, deregulation and free market reform has led to a volatile peso currency and seen investors aggressively dump Argentine stocks and bonds. Voters will deliver their verdict on Malay's party since he took office in December 2023 at the Argentine midterm elections for legislators later this month. Trump said support for the country relies on his success. We think he's going to win. He should win, Trump said at a bilateral lunch with Malay and cabinet members at the White House. If he doesn't win, we're not going to waste our time. The comment rattled Argentine markets, according to Reuters. Let's see here. Why is Trump? And that's the question I'm trying to get to. And like I said, leave a comment. You guys got a question? If you know a little something, go ahead and comment about it and help me and help us to understand your perspective in terms of hold on, I'm trying to share the show real quick. Your perspective in terms of why Trump is giving this money to Argentina. Or Argentina. All right, there we go. Okay, so why is Trump bailing out Argentina? Argentina is in a deepening economic crisis with a volatile currency, the Argentine peso. According to a blog published by the Council on Foreign Relations, the ins and outs of the crisis are complicated, but undergirding it all is the fact that the country is running out of hard currency. I wonder what that means. So they don't print their own money the way America does? Wonder what that's all about. If you know, drop something in the chat. Help close this gap. Help us understand. Trump denied that money was politically motivated when a reporter asked on October 14th, instead of saying it's really meant to help a good financial philosophy and we can help our neighbors. Because a reporter did ask Trump, how is giving money to Argentina America first? And then he talked this, he did that old Trump ass crap. The Trump, in terms of his response, he said a whole lot of words that meant absolutely nothing. The Trump administration has also argued the financial crisis in the region could affect other countries in the region, according to CNN. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that the United States economic lifeline from Malay's country will take the form of a currency swap with Argentina's central bank. That's a move that amounts to effectively exchanging stable U.S. dollars with volatile pesos. So again, the dollar is being gambled. This country is not in a position to do well by its citizens right now. Let's be honest. The government shut down. You're cutting all the Medicare, and these people that need medicine and doctor and can only afford it with the health care benefits that they have. So if you take all this away, which is what's happening, then when you got a bunch of sick people running around, ill, this is what you have. So even under that circumstance, our country is lopsided right now because there's too many people on medications. Because there's food and ingredients that are not permitted in other countries because they're so freaking dangerous, and of all the side effects and the causes that the illness that they cause. like red dye number 2 and all these other little things that you can't find those in other countries. It's not permissible in other countries, but it's permissible in the United States. And the other countries won't have it because they know it makes people sick, makes people ill. Our country is full of obese people, which is why you got so many people with in the diabetic classification and all these other things. So we're already sitting on the lopsided tip, and now you're gonna you cut out medical benefits, more lopsided. Now you're gonna give money to Argentina because they're in dire straits, and you're gonna like it said here, um, the the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that the United States economic lifeline from Malay's country will take the form of a currency swap with Argentina's central bank. That's that's a move that amounts to effectively exchanging stable US dollars with volatile pesos. But again, because nobody, people can't find jobs, people can't afford groceries, people can't afford places to live. There's just where America is ass out. So now you're going to trade our dollars with the unstable dollars of the pesos. And so now what happens when now what happens? Dissent on Fox News, um, on Laura Ingram's show last week denied that it was a bailout, according to Reuters. However, CFR article said it meets the standard qualifications to be considered a bailout. Reuters reported to the Reuters reported he said the assistance was strategic for the United States for its openness to allow U.S. companies to develop rare earth and uranium resources, and Malay's promise to get China out of Argentina. Why do you want China? Why are you even in a deal with any country that's calling themselves cutting China out when you're going right behind and bailing China and helping China and building China? I just saw a report this morning on the news where when Biden was president, the objective was to make sure that America was positioned to be the front runner in solar energy. But because Trump has come through and cut all this stuff out, China is leading the way. This is where a lot of jobs and things were supposed to be plenteous in America, in the solar energy, in the solar profession. But now, again, they cut all that out just so you could break China off or whatever it is. It's deeper than how I'm breaking it down to you. But the end game is the same. Whatever you've done, whatever Trump has done, you've positioned China to enjoy the benefits, and America has not. So why are you engaging with a country to prevent China from doing something, but you're turning right around and back in China anyway? So what's tea? Come on. Anyway, so on October 15th, Bessent announced support for the country would double to $40 billion. Reuters reported he also denied the aid was tied to the country's midterm elections, but rather is contingent on good policy. Nobody in the Trump administration should even utter those two words in a sentence, in a dream, at all. Further details about the arrangement remain unclear. So reactions to the Argentina bailout, the decision to give Argentina a bailout has angered some American farmers who have expressed concern that Trump's tariffs on China have caused Beijing to shift purchases of soybeans to countries such as Argentina. Why would USA help bail out Argentina while they take American soybean producers' biggest market? Why would you do that? You don't need to give them $20 billion. They already earning the money. And and here's the thing that makes this thing so bad is that the white farmers are now crying and complaining and whining and moaning and groaning, and black farmers have been fighting and arguing and trying to get this, get their share, what is owed them, and some level of equity. They've been in the fight for this, but now the white farmers are feeling this shit. And again, it's still a rotten situation. Why would the USA help bail out Argentina while they take American soybean producers' biggest market? Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, a key soybean producer, posted that on social media last month. Democratic lawmakers have also criticized Trump for the move, accusing him of prioritizing foreign bailouts and protecting investors as the country has eclipsed 2 weeks in a government shutdown, according to Reuters. Um, just a little bit about the president of Argentina, Javier Milei. Milei is a trained economist. You're a trained economist, and you fucking a budget up like that. That's why this what they saying about, oh, we're just gonna help him get it together. That's not it. You just breaking him off. Hey man, I got a little something, holler at me if you need it. That's all this is. Milei, who is a trained economist who believes that um, the institutions of state ultimately hamper many forms of freedom, and that true financial success can only be achieved through private markets and stateless societies. He was one of only a few world leaders who attended Trump's inauguration, highlighting their apparent close bond. You are my favorite president. The end, Trump said in a call to Milei when he was U.S. president elect. Milei has since continued to be one of Trump's closest international allies, apparently seeing eye to eye with him on a range of issues from state spending cuts to attacks on woke leftists. Man, you guys, this is our country. This is going on in our country, and this is just disappointing, to say the least. Milei's domestic critics have long dubbed him El Loco, the madman. When running for office, Milei said he was ready to attack the system with a chainsaw. This is something he symbolically proved on the campaign trail by repeatedly brandishing a chainsaw in front of supporters. He also claimed he was considering blowing up Argentina's central bank by ditching the local peso currency in favor of the US dollar. That's something he appears to have backed away from. Wonder why that is. Um, in various interviews, Milei has said he received his best advice from Murray, Milton, Robert, and Lucas. Murray, Milton, Robert, and Lucas are four mastiffs, his dogs, who he refers to as his children. On October 6th, Milei took the stage in Buenos Aires for an event that appeared to be part book launch, part rock concert, and part political rally. Milei's book, The Construction of the Miracle, compiles of speeches and social media posts going back several years. It's 573 pages. On stage in front of an estimated 15,000 people, the former frontman in a Rolling Stones tribute band sang a 9-track set of mostly 1980s rock anthems. I'm human, he told the packed stadium at one point. It might not seem like it, but I am. So this man. Now let me ask you this: do you think that 20 or scratch that $40 billion? How much of that do you think is going to dwindle all the way down and impact the citizens of Argentina? You know what I mean? And let me hit a Google real quick because I want to know, what is the population of Argentina? Hold on just a minute. See, in 2025. Let's see just how many folks. Argentina's population in 2025 is estimated to be around 45.9 million people, according to the United Nations. Other estimates include about 45.85 million based on mid-year figures. So, do we think that money's going to get to the population of Argentina, or is Milei going to be the only one standing tall and looking good? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm trying to understand. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we talked about the money going over to Argentina, which is a problem. We talked about John Bolton. Here's what we haven't talked about yet. I definitely want us to talk about that. What about the have you guys heard about the leaked messages from these young Republicans in this racist chat? Have y'all heard about any of that? Apparently you've got, and this is it's leaders of young Republicans. I'm trying to see if I can find the actual group name. I think it's called Young Republicans. Yeah. These people are young people who are expected, for the most part, to just segue into American government, to be, aldermen and mayors, and eventually run for Congress and become representatives and senators and things of that nature. This is them filtering it. This is the source. This is the base. This is the pool, y'all. Okay, from a GOP standpoint, and they've got a leaked chat, a little chat group they had, um, and it's effed up. The behavior going on inside this chat stuff is totally, it's horrific. So let me read to you what's going on here. I wish I had a little video that I could just run, which there's some. I don't have one queued up, so I'm not going to go all through it. But I'll read this to you. It's coming straight out of Political. I Love Hitler leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist chat. That's straight out of Political. I Love Hitler. Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery, and grape. Okay? And when I read stuff like this, if y'all, this pisses me off so bad. And the reason why is because these very same people have banned CRT, banned books. You're up here now, you want to get rid of the the Black Historic Museum talking about slavery and things like that. You want to get rid of anything Black, because and the discomfort bills that were written now. They've been in effect for years now. And you did all of that because it's not fair and just get over it. And you did all that. But here's what else they're going to have to do, you guys. They're going to have to ban this era. They are going to have to ban this era if America ever stays, if America doesn't become led under a dictatorship, and if we still have this racist ass bullshit going on 10, 15 years from now. They're going to have to ban this era because, yet again, leave it to the clear folks. They are still acting an ass. And so when their kids grow up, because this is why you want to ban the CRT and ban books and ban the truth. This is why you wanted to do all these things. Now they're going to have to ban this era because clear kids are going to grow up and say, well, damn, well, wait a minute. Why did you didn't want us to learn about the horrific things of slavery, but you in the chat talking about bring slavery back. So let me get into this to really add the context. New York. Leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to Black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about graping their enemies and driving them to okay, the ideations, and lauded Republicans who they believed supported slavery. You want to ban train? You want to get rid of the museum up there in Washington, D.C. that talks about it in detail. You want to ban all the books and all the knowledge and all of this and that and the 2/3 because you don't want anybody to know about it. Let y'all tell it. But then you got these people right here. You are lauding Republicans who they believed support slavery. Come on. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the words IGA and IGA. Okay? Two different, with the GA and the GUH. He used those words, variations of the racial slur, more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to grape as epic. Peter Guinta who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. You guys, these are people that were going to just ease their way into, they were going to matriculate into American politics for real, for real. Gienta, who was referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation, or let's see, Gienta was referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation, the GOP's 15,000 member political organization for Republicans between ages 18 and 40. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. Two members of the chat responded to that response by saying, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to the gas chamber. Somebody else said, when do we start bullying, dude? And he goes, we have 3 solid people who can probably have them want to jump. We have a solid 3 people who can probably have them want to jump. If they vote for us, why would they be gassed? When do we bring that side out? I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. If they vote for us, why would we want them to be gassed? We only want true believers. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people burn now. We got to pretend like we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower and relax. Boom, they're dead. This is what these people are jesting at inside these chats. Let's see here. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. Joe Magliano, who previously identified himself as the general counsel for the new Young State Republicans, wrote back, I'm ready to watch people burn now. Amy Katie, New York's National Committee member, said. The exchange is part of a trove of Telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another's job offer was rescinded. And let's be clear, it doesn't matter if the job was rescinded or the other one was fired. The racist people are going to say, "Okay, come on, don't worry about them. I'll double your pay. You come, I'll create a position for you. You bring your racist ass on over here and let's hook you up." Attaboy. This is sad. This is a sad state in the world. Let's see. New York Republicans, including Representative Elise Stefanik and as your state Senate Minority Leader Robert Ort, have denounced the chat, and festering resentments among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including allegations of character assassination and extortion. There are 2,900 pages of chats shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August. These messages chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republicans organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator. Isn't that something? Together, the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump era losing of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the party's next leaders. But they're blocking, they don't want us to know shit about our history. They blocking that because, it makes them feel uncomfortable. They feel uncomfortable. Okay? They feel uncomfortable when we talk about the truth. But yet, This is being this ugly side is being nurtured. It's being watered. It's being cultivated. And I will say this: this is why we've got to be teaching our own kids about Black history and making sure they understand all the stuff they want banned. That's the shit we need to make sure that our kids are learning. Because you don't want our kids to know for what? Because the law is because it's discomfort and white people shouldn't have to feel guilty for the stuff that their own ancestors did. But yet the stuff that their ancestors did is being regenerated in this new day and age. Stop it. Oh man. Oh man. It's just this is ugly. So look here. You can check it out, read it, uh, see it for yourself. It's a lot. It's a lot. So with that being said, I that's all I really wanted to cover today, y'all. Just these particular news stories that, um, what are we going to do in America, you guys? Our country's going to hell in a handbasket on a 747 red eye, nonstop. Okay. Um, and it doesn't appear that anything is happening. Oh yeah, there was. I wanted to discuss the Letitia James. If you guys are aware, that's the lady who um, was on Trump's ass. She had that ass. Like the headline says, she took his ass to task. Letitia James, the New York Attorney General who defeated Trump in court, indicted by the Justice Department. So let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me try to get this video up. A minute. Because I want, because so far it's been Comey and it's Bolton that have been indicted and had to stand in front of a judge and go through all this legal shit, and that's all well and good, and none of them have gotten off yet. Those cases have not been thoroughly adjudicated. Comey hasn't won, Bolton hasn't won, but I'm fearful that what's going to happen is they're going to make the black woman pay the cost for being the boss, because she was the boss that was on Trump's ass. And hopefully I'm going to run this clip real quick, you guys, just so you can hear about it. But she won. Letitia James won a lot of, she got a lot of uh, uh, suits settled against Donald Trump. I think it was her activity, which is why they can say, yeah, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Man, this is because of the hard work that she's done. So anyway, let's run this clip. Let's check it out. Let me hit this. Get this all right, let's go to work.
General Letitia James, who obviously brought the charges and won against President Donald Trump, has just been indicted by the Department of Justice. This was a case that President Trump wanted to be brought. It's a mortgage fraud case, and it's also what led to the leaving of the U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia. Eric Siebert would not bring these charges. We heard he had reservations about bringing these charges, and instead he left that position, and President Trump handpicked Lindsay Halligan to serve as the U.S. attorney in that district. We saw Lindsay Halligan bring the case against James Comey, the former FBI director, to a grand jury. They also indicted. Now she has brought the case earlier today to a grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia against Letitia James. We don't have all the details of how many counts or which counts she might have been indicted on, but we have learned that the grand jury did vote to indict Letitia James as well. Again, this is yet another time, another person that President Trump has spoken about, both publicly and privately, who believed should be brought to a court of law, even though there were several attorneys who did not believe this mortgage fraud case was strong enough. Halligan, who is a Trump loyalist, ended up bringing the case herself, which is, of course, as we know, part of the reason that President Trump appointed her to this position. And the grand jury did indict Letitia James earlier today.
Okay, so there's that. There is that, and my only fear is that as a black woman, They're not going to have any qualms. And yeah, still go ahead and throw the book at her because that's a black woman. I hope it doesn't happen because again, she did all the work. She did all the damn work and kept the truth. So we're going to see. We're going to see. It says here James' relationship with Trump has been adversarial for years as James campaigned on promises to investigate Trump and ultimately won a civil fraud case against Trump, his adult sons, and real estate business. A judge found them liable for fraud for inflating the value of their properties and ordered Trump to pay $355 million in penalties. A New York appeals court tossed the penalties and Trump has appealed the verdict. Doesn't matter that those penalties were tossed. She proved it. Just Trump probably, maybe he knows somebody who knows somebody, and if I recall correctly too, the ruling also was that the Trump administration, the kids, and none of them could even participate in any type of nonprofit type organizational activities in the state of New York. So it says here, during the 11-week trial, Trump's anger towards James was palpable. He rallied against her in courthouse hallways and from witness stands. Trump testified as James sat across from him in the courtroom galley. This is a political witch hunt. I think she should be ashamed of herself. Trump testified, you believe this political hack back there, and that's unfortunate. James often punched back outside of courtroom on social media or in video statements. This is retaliation. You're not fooling nobody, and it's just sad. When is America going to say, hey, you know what? We're about to lose our country as we know it. And I think what it is clear people would rather see racism in full effect than be able to live according to, what America has typically been, the freedoms that America at least offers they ass and the ones we got to constantly keep fighting for. So I don't know, y'all. Listen, for those of you that pulled up, thanks. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. That's it. That is the podcast. And until next time, y'all, we will see ya when we see you.
Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the We Own Your Head podcast. Discussing topics that make you say, how and where can we improve as a society? From a Black American's perspective. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Catch this live, be ready to speak. This is a call-in show. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Let's go to work.